Look, self-awareness, pride's a coat and yes, I like to wear it. Buttoned up, don't like to let no air in with a pair of gloves that I hope doesn't perish. I discovered though when I get holes in them and I let joy in, I'm in higher spirits. My mistakes are like a screaming parrot, just repeating lyrics. I can barely bear it when I'm lost. Road is narrow, I'm looking down it like a gun's barrel. Aren't we all searching for the serum that could help us breathe and leave our state of peril? All of us have made defensive scarecrows that we scatter around our fields and treat like heroes when they scare away the things that we should cherish. Cause we're too embarrassed to admit the fear is that we're lost. Yeah, but what does it matter? I get too combative inside of me. Is a personal canvas. The pain can be flattered, get messy when I start to get rattled. The heart of a savage and quiet when I lurk in the shadow. But something on that up, I don't wanna be over dramatic, but look at the data. It's obvious that humans are fragile. We tend to get mad at the ones that call us out, but the fact is we need someone that'll be honest when we fly off the handle. I admit I throw a fit when I begin to unravel. Keep my wits been off the grid, but now I'm back in the saddle. My intent is not to rant, I like to own what I value. I can take you on the fence and maybe pick up the paddle. I like to roll against the current, that's the way that I travel. Opposite of what the grain has got the brain of a rebel. Take initiative, I'm diligent on every level. I never could settle, I like to keep my foot in the pedal. Yeah, I love to pack arenas and all, but what I really wanna do is learn to handle my thoughts and put the reins on them, show them I'm the one that's the boss, and pull them back when they get out of hand and breaking their jaws. I'm taking the flaws, they told me I could never revolve, then pull a bane on them, ask them, oh, you think you're in charge? You ought to know better, ain't no way around it, I'm flawed, the traits that I want, they say I can't afford what it costs, but I manifested this. Failing's how you grow and learn your lessons, kids. Take the worst and try to make the best of it, cause when you fail, just know that it's a test, and if you can learn to pick yourself back up again and train your brain to not be such a pessimist, it's okay to make mistakes, just don't forget that there's a high road, but I skip the exit when I'm lost. Yeah, when I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost.
Wow, these burdens are heavy, and I'm hoping it don't bury me. I used to be joyful and skip so merrily, but now I'm too cautious and tiptoe carefully. My mind left, and it's nowhere to be found. Am I a big old parody? Cause it's no fair to me. And now I'm at the point where I'm spending $1,000 a week on hypnotherapy. Look, I'm trying to wash away my sins. I got a group of loved ones that ain't my friends. And if I ever take a nail, then they might grit. And they all wanna see me stay in the cage I'm in. So when it come to anybody, there's no trust for no one. Man, so what? My whole plan's to go nuts. My shoulder's ready for most shrugs. I'm gon' judge anybody trying to enter my circle with no love. My sanity's gone, I'd rather be torn from this planet they planted me on. Your stats a reward. I'm actually bored with having it so hard. It's torn apart from a family that I don't have anymore. Man, hold up. I was living so oblivious with millions. It really was a pity, huh? A pity, huh? It's kinda funny what a penny does, mixed in with a mini buzz. I feel stuck. Life got me by the neck with a blade against it. Cause I was running late for the train and missed it. The only thing I feel is pain and vengeance. So I'ma act out like a raging misfit. And every verse I lay gon' stay sadistic. You wanna hate me? Good, great, terrific. You'll never see the day when my anger's dismissed. You better go and change your wish list. Cause manifested this. Do not treat me like some adolescent kid. I am praying to the Lord with the book of James, hoping he go at my testament. This dark cloud, that's my residence. Demons knocking, I don't have to let them in. I done made mistakes day to day, you probably can't relate. I just ain't the same when I'm lost. Yeah. When I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost. When I'm lost.
Hope, yeah, I'm on my way.
What is up, everyone? Hey, welcome back to another live stream. My name is Tyler. Super excited to have you taking the time to hang out with me. I'm a pen tester by day, a content creator, mentor, teacher, sometimes rapper by night. Super excited to have you here. Do want to let you know right away that I am live right now on 3 different platforms. You can join on whichever platform works best for you, but I am live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. On YouTube and LinkedIn, I just stream under my name, Tyler Ramsby, and over on Twitch, I stream under the name Hack_Smarter. So YouTube and LinkedIn is Tyler Ramsby, Twitch it is Hack Smarter, but yo, let me pull up chat. Actually, let me get the YouTube thing ready real quick. Every time I do a live stream via Restream on YouTube, I have to go over to YouTube and set the stupid category. All right, there we go. Let me scroll up. We got Zero Cool with the First Blood, our friendly AI bot checking into the chat, spying on me in my basement, knowing I'm going to go live. We got Crypto King, blessed with another stream. Hey, dude, thank you. I mean, thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat the other day. Thank you for your donation today. I'm assuming you're okay with this. Hopefully you are. But guys, I got exciting news for you. Crypto King generated a pretty generous amount. I won't share the amount unless you're okay with me sharing it, but I will just say he shared a very generous amount, a donation, in order to make my next course, Hands-On Fishing, open to people who may not be able to afford it. So if you're not part of the Hacksmart Discord, join there. I'll release information there, but I'll have kind of an application process for those because I want to make sure it really goes to people that it's going to help who otherwise won't be able to afford it. Mainly what I'm thinking is people not kind of in the US or the Western world. So big shout out to Crypto King for that generosity. Stay tuned for that when my fishing course releases. We got 444C checking in. Good to have you here. We got Mark Boozy checking in. Another great day to break Google Cloud. Let's go. We got Sync Logic. We got Death Wish Show. Good to have you here. Luke said, I'm currently trying to complete Cheese CTF on Try Hack Me. This doesn't feel like an easy room. I did Cheese CTF, I think, on stream, and I have a walkthrough video on my channel, but I do so many machines, I don't even remember the details, to be honest. We got Jimmy Barrios checking in. Good to have you here as well. Dude, did you complete another Cloud Goat scenario, like submit one? I saw some chat internally, but I was busy. I didn't even look at who the pull request is for. Let me... Federated Council Takeover, was that your scenario? It was. Oh my goodness, dude. Two Cloud Goat scenarios in a row. You are killing it. Awesome work. We got Mando Avila checking in. We got Phantom 0078. We got Muhammad Hassan. Good to have you here. We got Ethan Bauer checking in. My day is going well. How's your day going? We got Rain checking in. Good to have you. Guys, how's everybody doing? It's Friday night. You guys have any good Friday night plans? We have like a town festival in my town, my massive town of like 1,000 people, more cows than people. But every year, you know how all small towns have their town festival. So our festival is right now. So got off work. We went to the school, ate some food from the FFA kids, went to a car show. There's some model trains that my son loves. So we checked out some model trains. We have a little art gallery on Main Street, which is pretty cool. So we went to the art gallery. I got to hold a goat. I wonder if my wife sent me that picture. Just share it with you all. There was like baby goats on Main Street because, you know, I live in a rural area. So I got to like pick up a goat and hang out with the goat. I thought that was cool. Geez, what else? Did a lot of stuff tonight. So we just got home a little bit ago, got my kids to bed, and now here I am. So yeah, my day's been good. My night's been good. And it's good to talk to all of you. What up, Cyborg Hacker? Good to have you here. Siraj, good to have you here. Friday the 13th. It is Friday the 13th. Yes. Guys, do you guys want to hear something crazy? I don't know if I should share this or not. Don't know if I'm ready to be public with this yet. All right, I'll tell my closest friends. There's 30 of you here right now. Maybe some people will jump on later. But I have some crazy news, guys. So I've been kind of teasing this for a while of a big announcement. Originally, the announcement was going to be in 2026, but I've been able to move some pieces around and kind of line some things up. And this is like, I would say it's not really public yet, but I'm literally saying this live on stream. So it kind of is, but I haven't like announced it on LinkedIn or Discord or anything like that. So it's really not that public. But yeah, I'll also probably make a standalone video about this. But guys, it's going to sound crazy, but I'm quitting my job. Right? So my job right now is I'm a pen tester. It is awesome. I get paid really good money. But I made a video a while back saying my dream job is to do pen testing and teaching. I want to have the freedom to do that and kind of the freedom to build something on my own. And so I'm pursuing it. So here's what that means practically. Where I work as a pen tester, I'm one of like the lead pen testers, and we are booked for projects like for a long time. And because I'm not leaving to go work for somebody else, like I have the flexibility to stay as long as they need me. So I won't actually be solo until October 1st. So from now until October 1st, I'm still doing my normal, full-time job as a pen tester. But guys, October 1st, I'm going to go solo. I'm going to see how it goes. It might fail miserably. I'll give you guys a little bit of context. One is, I like I said before, I make really good money in my current role, but I still have the same standard of living I had back when I was a pastor, making like $50,000 a year. Actually, I made less than that when I was a pastor. But anyways, I make way more than that now, but I've never changed my standard of living. I didn't go buy a bunch of stuff. I live in the same house. And so I've just taken that money and kind of thrown it to the side. So I currently have about 13 months of expenses saved up that would cover me and my family if I made no money for 12 months. So that I have that going for me, a really long runway. The other thing I have going for me is just how well my courses have done on Simply Cyber. So a huge thank you to all of you who purchased my Intro to AWS Pentesting course. You guys are really the ones who made this possible. So I don't even know if I'm supposed to be really sharing this, but I want to take you guys on this journey with me. Because what I'm doing, I feel like a lot of people want to do, but there's so much fear and there's so much anxiety. And honestly, I have a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety going into it. But I'm going to bring you guys on this journey with me and be as open and transparent as possible. But anyways, my AWS course, believe it or not, in the first 3 weeks, generated over $30,000 in revenue. Now, I don't get all of that revenue because it is a revenue share or split with Simply Cyber, but I get a pretty decent chunk of that revenue. And so I have that. I have 3 more courses I'm going to come out with before the end of the year that it should help fill up some of those expenses. Geez, someone just drove by loud on a motorcycle. But I have those courses coming up that should fill out some of those expenses. But in addition to that, I've also lined up some contract work on both the pen testing and teaching side of things. I don't think I can fully announce the contracting side of stuff, but I'm partnering with an organization you all know, and it'll be fun to partner with them to do some teaching. Additionally, I'm going to be launching my own pen testing firm. It's going to be a very small firm, not focusing on scaling too quickly. If you know anything about pen testing sales, you know that the sales cycles are very long. So if you start a pen testing company, it's going to be a long time before you even land your first few strong clients, and even longer before they pay you. So I'm at a point right now where I can cover all of my expenses just based on teaching and content creation and things like that. So I plan on using that for my main salary. I'm not going to plan on the pen testing stuff at all for money because it's going to take a while to grow, but I am launching a small pen testing firm, really aiming only to take on 3 to 5 clients in the first year so that I don't scale it too quickly once again, and I can really focus on teaching, mentoring, and being a little more present in the community. So I don't know how this is going to pan out. This could honestly fail miserably. And I would be lying to you if I didn't say I wasn't terrified, because here's the reality. I have a family of 4, right? I have a wife and 2 young kids. I'm the sole provider of income. So it's up to me, right? To make sure bills are paid, we have food, all of that stuff. But because I have that long runway, and because my courses have already proved there is a market fit for the content I'm creating, I'm at kind of a crossroads, and I realized I had to make a decision. Do I continue working for someone else full time, or do I just YOLO it and see how it goes by working for myself full time? And that's the option I chose. So my plan is I'm going to try this for 12 to 16 months starting October 1st, and I might fail. But here's the reality. What failure looks like is 12 months from then, I'll just get a different pen testing job, and I'll learn a bunch in the process. So that's the plan. I am quitting my job officially October 1st to go full-time on my own between teaching, mentoring, helping grow Hack Smarter, some contract work, and slowly launching my own pen testing firm. So that's the news that I have not shared really with anyone. This is the first time I'm talking about it publicly. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, Tyler, how can we support you? Well, there's a few different ways. Number one, buy my courses, right? My courses are very reasonably priced, and I think well done. And I guess all the feedback and comments also say well done. The course, kind of my flagship course right now, is Intro to AWS Pentesting. You can find a link to that course in the description of the video. Another way that you can support me is over on Ko-Fi. I've dropped my Ko-Fi link a couple of times. I have a few different membership tiers on there. You can also give one-time gifts. But like I said, I'm going to do my best to take you guys on this journey with me. Let me get my Ko-Fi pulled up real quick. And what I mean by taking you on the journey with me, I need to think through like how I can do this while keeping things masked. I just dropped a link to my Ko-Fi if you guys want to check it out. But I'm going to try to share with you like the accounting, the revenue that's generated, what expenses look like, and really be as much of an open book as I can. I mean, you guys are the ones who enabled me to at least try this to see how it goes. And once again, I know a lot of people are interested in what that journey is like. So I want to take you on this journey with me. We will either succeed together or we'll fail together. But failure means all of us are going to learn a bunch of stuff. So that's the major announcement. I had a conversation with my workplace this past week, and then they let everyone at my company know. So everybody knows, everyone's been super supportive where I work. So yeah, that is the big news. Once again, just want to say thank you to all of you for your support along this journey. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting ride. We're going to learn a lot in the process, but let's go. All right, let me look at chat. I know that's a big announcement. Let me scroll up, see if anyone tells me I'm insane, which I might be a little bit, but it's the pieces have kind of fallen into place really nicely. The one contract role I was talking about, not going to share specifics yet, but what this other contract role is going to allow me to do is this instructor-led training, and I can kind of pick and choose when I do it. So it's like week-long training from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. But when I do it, they're paying me about $4,000 a week. So if I need to make up some extra income, I have that in my back pocket. I plan on doing it once every 2 months anyways, just to keep it going. But if I need it more, I can always jump in and do that as well. So I have multiple different sources of income that I'm trying to use to make this possible. Zero Cool said, I knew it. Thank you, Zolhab. I appreciate it. Jenny said, follow your dreams. Thank you. Ethan said, I'm going to do everything I can to support you. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you got to do what you want, man, to sync logic. And exactly, I mean, that's advice, honestly, to all of us. I was like, hey, guys, this is my dream job. I want to do pen testing and teaching. If anyone wants to enable me to do that, let me know. Then I thought, screw it. I'll enable myself to do it. Like, I'm not going to wait for somebody else to hire me for like a mixed pen testing teaching role. I will hire myself. And that's what I'm doing. I have a really good friend and partner on the pen testing side of things. You all know who he is, but I can't share with you his name yet. But it's coming. Scroll through chat. Thank you, Crypto King. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Sank. TCM for cloud certifications? No, I mean, if TCM wants to make a cloud certification, we can chat, but nice. I hope I can make it for you to hire me. Maybe one day, like realistically, guys, I can't hire anyone because I just have to pay my own bills. But if things scale well, which I think they will, I mean, just projecting my revenue from courses alone, I'm going to be in a very good place, I think, as long as momentum continues, which I don't see any reason why it would stop. Momentum's been going really well on like the content creation, all of you being here, the courses, and projecting that forward, it's going to go well, I think. And then if I can scale the pen testing side of things, it's going to be a really cool journey, a really cool ride. Thank you, Mando. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate it. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Joshua. What up, Hoi Manoy? What realistically provides you full revenue? Happy to support you every way possible, and hopefully you get the most out of it. I would say if you want to support me, Ko-Fi is probably the best way to do it. I mean, purchasing my courses are also awesome as well. But the nice thing about Ko-Fi is they don't even take a cut from it, minus like your standard processing fees. And so to support me directly, Ko-Fi is the way. You can set up monthly gifts. You can do a one-time gift. But yeah, that would be the best way to support me. So if you have it in you to donate over here on Ko-Fi, I actually have it pulled up. That would be a great way to do it. So here on Ko-Fi, you can give a one-time gift. You can also do membership, right? But if you do a membership like Hack Smarter Partners and you join, you can actually set it to whatever amount you want to pay. So I'm not asking you for money, But if you have the ability to give and you want to really be part of this journey and part of this story, that would be amazing. I'd very much appreciate it. My family would appreciate it. But yes. Wait, what was the big news? I'm late. The big news, my friend, is I'm quitting my job. I will be solo starting October 1st. I'm going to do teaching, some contract work, and pen testing on my own so that I can help scale all the teaching that I'm doing right now. Let me scroll. And you guys got to hear it first. I'm not going to repeat it again. So it was those of you in the beginning of the stream who got to hear that news. I haven't made it official anywhere else. Thank you, Shamalin. I appreciate it. What up, Federico? Good to have you here. What is Kali GPT? I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Kali GPT to me sounds like a marketing company that's trying to rip off the Kali name and just make your standard GPT. I think it's overhyped. Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate it. Thank you, Samuel. Hey, Taylor, how can we open a pen testing firm? Can you explain it? I don't know. I'm going to figure it out and wing it. I'll let you know once I figure it out. We got Tiberius. Oh, look, it's the man who hacked Google Cloud. Yes, I am the destroyer of networks. I am DNS. I am Google Cloud. I am Cloudflare. I take them all down. Good to have you here, Tiberius. Thank you, Chris. So yeah, hot off the press. Real quick though, I do have a few announcements I need to make. Number one, real quick self-promotion. I do have this awesome course, Intro to AWS Pentesting. 66 hands-on lessons, all taught by me. It will take you from beginner level to intermediate level as it pertains to AWS Pentesting. Additionally, let me stop sharing. Let me go ahead and grab a link here, but it is currently on sale for 20% off with the code DAD20 for Father's Day. This code only lasts through this weekend. I think it will be done end of day Sunday. So if you haven't purchased my course, go do it. You can get it 20% off right now. The price of my course will be going up to $49.99 in the future because, well, it's really worth more than that, but I think that's a fair price. So heavily discounted right now, plus the 20% discount. You got nothing to lose. Go buy it, enjoy it. I think even if you don't plan on going through it right now, get it now, and then you can go through it in a year. It'll be continually updated. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Hey, Arun, I've never done the EJPT, so I don't feel like I can make a video on it. What up, Knight? Well, Travis, thank you so much for buying it. I appreciate it. I guess that's the main announcement, is just that right there, and then the news I shared with you guys before. Today, we're going to make a few different videos. So for those of you who are new to my live stream, let me share with you kind of what you have stumbled across. My live stream is when we hang out, obviously. Like every once in a while, someone comes on and they're like, is this really live? Yes, this is really live. I am not an advanced AI. That is what an advanced AI would say, but I'm a real person talking to you live over the interwebs right now. But this is also the time where I make my standalone shorter videos for YouTube. I suck at video editing, so for most of my videos, I literally just one take them and hopefully they turn out. I might do some slight editing, but that's what you're gonna see happening in just a little bit. You get to be part of the live studio audience. Now, we've been doing a mini series on hacking GCP, but I wanted to try out something new for the series, and that's using a operating system or a virtual machine created by Pwned Labs. Pwned Labs is the organization that we've been working through this lab on, and I thought I would make very quick a video on how to set up and install PwnCloud OS. So I want to begin our stream by making a short walkthrough video on that, and then we're going to use PwnCloud OS to continue our series from 2 streams ago of hacking GCP. That's the plan. Before we do that, if anyone else has any more questions about cyber pen testing careers, let me know in the chat. We'd love to take the time to answer those questions before we dive into that. Do you teach some AWS fundamentals or do you need some knowledge? Yes, I teach AWS fundamentals in the course. If you're brand new to AWS, you will be able to follow along. I just say that because that's what other people have said. I've had multiple people, and you can find the posts on LinkedIn and Discord and elsewhere when they tag me, but like, yo, I had no AWS or very little AWS knowledge going into this, and Tyler took me, like, held my hand up until I was comfortable tackling those capstones on my own. So I think you can go through it even without AWS fundamentals, because I do take the time to explain every little step and every term that I'm using. That being said, when you're going through the course, if there's something I talk about that I don't explain or that you're confused on, that's where ChatGPT would be helpful. Say, hey, ELI 5, explain like I'm 5, and then drop the term in there, and you'll be able to follow your way through the course that way. Computer Cyber said, I have a question about PT1. Do you think if I study the path, even if I don't have knowledge in PT1, just study the path to PT1? I think your question is, if I study the path, will I be ready for it? Yes. The only area in the PT1 that I think TryHackMe does not prep you as well for is the web app portion. So I would go through the web app stuff in TryHackMe, but I would pair it with Portswigger Academy and Hacking Hub would be my recommendation. What is the name of the room you created on TryHackMe? I've actually created quite a few rooms. The one room that I created is in the PT1 like learning path, and that is Silver Platter. Silver Platter on TryHackMe is actually based on CVEs I have found in the real world. So yeah, Silver Platter is one room I created. I also created CyberLens, and I also created Hack Smarter Security. Silver Platter is a Linux machine, I believe, if I remember right. Hack Smarter Security is a medium-rated Windows machine. It requires bypassing Windows Defender once you get on the machine. And CyberLens, I believe, is also a Windows machine, but an easy-rated Windows machine. All three of my rooms are very similar to what you would encounter on an exam like the OSCP. So if you're studying for the OSCP, those three rooms would be super helpful, very similar to what you're going to encounter on the exam. Tiberius says, so the Google Cloud incident report came out. They literally push untested code to prod, exactly like CrowdStrike did. Classic. It's because I social engineered them to do that. That's how it happened. Tyler, help for PT1 web app exploitation. Like I said before, Hacking Hub and Portswigger Academy would be my go-to recommendations for learning web app and AppSec security. I tried to hack the box on THM, but I'm a visual learner and TCM works better for me in your courses on Simply. That's totally fine. At least you know that. I have a bunch of good courses coming out very soon. I'll see if I can do this off memory. So over on Simply Cyber Academy, I am coming out with my hands-on phishing course in July. So next month, July 8th. That's going to be teaching how to do real phishing campaigns, bypassing things, setting up infrastructure, all of that good stuff. That will be $34.99, once again coming out July 8th. And then in September, I'm going to come out with I'm going to come out with a course on some basics of web app pen testing. Nothing really in depth, but more of an introductory course to web app pen testing. I'm hoping to cover everything that you would need for an exam like the PT1. So I'll have a web app pen testing course coming out in September. And then September. I'm trying to think when my next course is. I think in November then, I'm going to come out with a course on AI/LLM pen testing. So that's another thing that I've been doing a lot of just in my day job is pen testing large language models and some of that stuff. So I'm making an entire course on that. And then in maybe December, I might be missing a month there, but I have a course coming out on practical pen test report writing. But more than just like writing a pen test report, we're going to do an entire simulated pen test, show you all the things that I look for, including like informationals and lows to show you the difference between a pen test and a CTF. And then we're going to use some open source tooling to write a very professional pen test report at the end. So that's a snapshot of some of the courses I'll be working on before the end of the year. All right, let me scroll up. Zero Cool said, I created one that I will submit tomorrow on THM. It's fun. It's inspired by the movie Hackers. Awesome. Excited to check it out. I have a question. It means I study PT1 just even if I don't have knowledge. Just depend on the official learning path. Sorry for the noise. I don't know if I understand your question. Sorry, Computer Cyber. But yeah, study it. Hey, Ty, just curious. Why do you choose to use ChatGPT over DeepSeek? Been using DeepSeek recently. There's less restrictions on it. I don't know. Isn't DeepSeek the Chinese one? Like, owned by the Chinese government or something? Yes. But no, I don't really have any reason. Just more used to it. What's your name on TryHackMe? My name on TryHackMe, I'll drop it in chat. I dropped my name in TryHackMe in chat. Hey, Taylor, how you doing? I'm doing good, Cyberstormy. Good to have you here at LLM Courses in Must, bro. Exactly. I think when it comes to LLM pen testing and AI pen testing, there's a lot of, I don't know if misinformation is the right word, but when it comes to AI, like everything is AI powered, blah, 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 blah. And if you're not actively in the field doing like pen testing on some of these models, it's easy to fall into the overhype about it or to be very confused because a lot of the AI and LLM language is marketing language and it doesn't explain the technical stuff and some of the vulnerabilities that might be present. So that's why I'm hoping to make a course on that from the perspective of a pen tester, not someone trying to market an AI project to you or product to you. Great course lineups, excited for it. Thank you. All right, well, y'all, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. We are going to make our first standalone video, and that's going to be a how to install PwnCloud OS. So let me get a drink of water. I'm going to hit record. We're going to wing it. I might do some editing. We'll see how it goes. When you start selling the cloud pen testing, what's going to be in your scope? What methodology checklist like OWASP top 10 are you going to use? I'll make a whole video on that. So stay tuned. I have so many things I wish I could show you guys. Like you'll enjoy it when I show you the full stuff. What up, Anush? Good to have you checking in, my friend. DeepSeek, we're financed by the Chinese government, but you can run it offline. Yes, correct computer cyber. Even if you have very little knowledge, I believe the PT1 learning path takes you from the beginning. So dive into it. If it doesn't go through the Cybersecurity 101, so Cybersecurity 101 is another path on TryHackMe, you can begin there to kind of get a firm foundation and then go into the PT1 path. But yeah, just dive in. See what you can learn. Getting stuck is part of the learning process. I look forward to the Pentest report writing one too. I struggle to present my findings. Yeah, and in that Pentest report writing, we're not only going to talk about the report, but we'll talk about debrief. So for those of you who don't do pen testing or might be new to pen testing, generally how it works is I'll do, let's say, a 5 or 10 day AWS pen test for a client. I read a very detailed technical report as well as a high overview report for kind of the C-suite. And then I do a debrief with the client where I sit down with them virtually over Zoom. I share my screen and I walk them through the report step by step. I explain every vulnerability that I found, and then I answer questions as I go. So the debrief is really important. So as a hacker, if you think you can just like chill in your basement like I do and not talk, not true. One of the best things I've done for prep is just streaming. I stream all the time. I explain vulnerabilities all the time. I try to teach while I do it. And that's sort of what a debrief is. It's you teaching people of different experience levels to come alongside them as a partner and help them understand some of the vulnerabilities in their environment, some suggested ways to remediate. But I'll talk about all of that in the course. Any prerequisite for your web security course? There will not be any prerequisites needed. I computer cyber, I don't know anything about game development, my friend. I can't answer that question. What software do you usually use for your report writing? So actually the firm that I work at now, we have proprietary like internal software that's not available to you. But there's some good open source stuff like Sysraptor and stuff. Where do you learn your presentation skills for reporting? Well, I have a master's degree in divinity, which means I spent 3 years on the academic side writing research papers. I was actually working on a doctorate for a while. So as far as like presenting findings, researching, and writing, it's a natural gifting of mine. I thoroughly enjoy that stuff. So literally, a lot of my report writing comes from when I was a pastor and when I was doing a lot of stuff in academia. As far as presenting, well, same thing, guys. I was a pastor for 10 years. I spoke in front of hundreds of people every single weekend for 10 straight years. And that, of course, got me comfortable with public speaking and just presenting and teaching and doing all of that. So I don't recommend being a pastor for 10 years to get good at public speaking. It's very stressful and the pay sucks, but that's what worked for me. Everyone's journey is different. Oh yeah, good call, John. So I have a course, Introduction to Hacking Methodology, over on Simply Cyber Academy. You can find it, but you'll enjoy that course as well. All right, let's go ahead and make this video on how to set up PwnCloud OS and what PwnCloud OS actually is. I need to pop open VirtualBox, so that's ready. And I'm going to do File, Import. I need to make sure I'm not showing anything I can't show on stream. I really don't like showing my host computer, but give me just a second. I'm running through this stuff real quick myself. All right, we should be good. I want community. Okay, let me drop a link to my Discord real quick. If you guys aren't in the HackSmart Discord, you're missing out. It is the coolest InfoSec community you could possibly join. I might be a little bit biased, but that doesn't mean it's not true. There's the link. Come join HackSmarter. What up, Memory Corruption? Good to have you here. Oh, wow. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm going to go shut my window over here. I'll be right back. Also, if you guys didn't notice, yes, the brick wall is not real behind me. It is a piece of fabric. I work in an unfinished basement, and I got that for like $20 off Amazon. I put it behind me because it looks cool. The pictures are real, though. Those are my kids' pictures. All right, let's go ahead and start recording. In this video, I want to introduce you to PwnCloud OS. This is a special virtual machine or operating system designed for pen testing cloud environments. Now, this is an operating system developed by Pwned Labs. You've likely seen me do a lot of Pwned Labs labs right here on my YouTube channel. Pwned Labs is sort of like Hack the Box for the cloud. They have hands-on labs that cover AWS, Azure, and GCP, and they recently released their own virtual machine. Think like Kali for hacking the cloud. In this video, I want to give you a full overview of PwnCloud OS, including detailed steps to install this in VirtualBox as a virtual machine. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. By the way, you might see there's some chat up above my head right here. That's because I'm making this video while I'm live streaming, and all of these people get to be part of the live studio audience. If you want to join me when I stream all of the time, but subscribe to me on YouTube, hit that little notification bell, and then you will get notified when I go live. But anyways, we're right here on PwnCloudOS.pwnlabs.io, and it is the multi-cloud security platform for hackers and defenders. Now, one real question I want to answer right away that I know someone is wondering is, why can't you just use Kali? And the answer is, you can. That's often what I use when I do any type of pen testing, whether it's network, web apps, cloud, whatever it is. You can do all of it in Kali. You can do all of it in Ubuntu, which I also use Ubuntu for a lot of my pen testing. The nice thing about an operating system like PwnCloud OS is it just installs all the tools for you. So yes, you can just use Ubuntu and install the tools yourself. That's what I do much of the time. But if you're newer or you just want an operating system you can spin up real quick with many of the cloud pen testing tools installed for you, this is a great operating system. So let me walk you through this. I'm going to show you how to install the AMD 64, and I'm going to do it within VirtualBox. Now, I do run Ubuntu as my primary OS because it's better than Windows, but even if you're running Windows, all of these steps I'm going to show you are the same thing as long as you are using VirtualBox. There's a few things down here. I think most of these questions you can read through yourself. One thing I'll just highlight is, yes, it is completely free to use, and I want to zoom in on this on providing feedback. I have been experimenting with PwnCloud OS, and I've discovered a few different things that I think should be improved, some tools that should be included, and I pinged the team, and you can actually get a hold of them on the Pwned Labs Discord, and I was like, yo, here are like 5 things I think you should include, and they said, yes, thank you for the feedback. We will include it in the next update. So they're very open to feedback, very open to suggestions if you take this for a spin and find some of the things that you want missing. Of course, you can add new tools. What cloud platform? So right now it has AWS and Azure, and they're slowly adding GCP later in 2025, but you can once again install all those tools yourself as well. You can get the Discord link right here. You can contribute to PwnCloud OS as well. And why am I seeing a blank screen on load? This is something important for what we're doing. So for VirtualBox, we need to ensure the graphics controller is set to VMS VGA, otherwise a blank screen will appear. If that means nothing to you, that is okay. I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. So if you wanna follow along with me, number one, go ahead and download this. It's gonna take a few minutes to download depending on your internet speed. And when it's done downloading, go ahead. Well, first pause my video. When it's done, you can unpause my video and I'll walk you through the install process step by step. But once you have the OVA file downloaded, you can go ahead and open up VirtualBox. Here on VirtualBox, we're going to go to File, Import Appliance. From our local file system, hit the little folder icon to grab what we want to grab. And I'm going to go down to Downloads here. And here is actually, that is not the file right there. I forgot that I saved the file actually to my external drive. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment to make sure everything there is not some secret streaming stuff. No, it's not. So we should be good. So here on my external VM, we have my PwnCloud OS. You can actually see when I was first testing it, and here's the newest one from today. So I'm going to click into the PwnCloud OS AMD64.OVA and just click Open. We can keep all of this the same. I'm going to click Next. Now you can see all the virtual system files here. We can keep those the same as well. And I'm going to go ahead and click Finish. Now it's going to take just a few minutes, well, probably not even a few minutes to import the appliance. I'll use the power of video editing to jump us to the end, but just wait for this to finish and then I'll show you the next few steps. All right. I'm curious for those of you in chat. Now I'm just here with the streaming people, and note to Tyler, this is where you can edit it. But I'm curious for those of you in chat, has anyone tried PwnCloud OS? I just tried it. Well, I tried it a while ago when they first were like beta testing it, but I didn't play with it that much. I've been using it kind of heavily. Last night, I was playing around with the lab on Pwned Labs with PwnCloud OS to get a feel for it. And it's pretty cool. I mean, there's definitely some improvement. And I mentioned that, like, there's certain tools that it doesn't include. There's some very basic quality of life things that I think would be easy to fix, but it overall, very cool operating system. Love the way it looks. You guys will see it whenever it's done importing. I'll jump back to my camera. First time I heard of it here. Let me drop the link real quick in case anyone wants to go grab it or read about it while we wait. And I'm also like, if you followed my live streams for any length of time, I have a tendency to jump from operating system to operating system. So I do use Ubuntu as my primary OS. Honestly, I use Ubuntu for almost all my pen testing, like when I do it for my job. I just like Ubuntu. I install all the tools I need. I'll sometimes use Kali, but I mainly use Ubuntu. But on stream, I use Kali. I've also used Parrot. I'll sometimes switch. I'll go through like using Kali for a while, then using Parrot for a while. And so I like to just play with different operating systems to keep it fresh for fun. But I personally enjoy just like using Ubuntu and installing the tools I need. Okay. We have it done. So drink of water. And note to Tyler in the future, you can edit the video here. Okay, it is done importing the virtual machine for me. You can see it's this right here, just called VM. Let's make a few adjustments to it before we boot into it. I'm going to click Settings right here, and let me pull this over here. We'll go to name this VM PwnCloud OS. We'll go down to System. This is all fine here. I like to bump mine up to 16. That'll be good. Processors will be fine. Motherboard's fine. Go down to Display. Now remember, this is the one big thing that we need to change. 2 suggestions here. I like to bump the video memory all the way up, and then this is the one that we need to set to VMSVGA right there so that we don't have a blank screen. Once you make those settings, we can go ahead and click OK. And now let's go ahead and boot into the operating system. We'll just hit start. I don't know why it's popping up on my other screen, but here we go. We'll hit capture and enter to boot into PwnCloud OS. Hey, memory corruption. Yes, I just dropped a link in chat, but I'll drop it in just a moment. But here we are on PwnCloud OS. I think we should be able to make it full screen if I do Control F on my keyboard. And there we go. Full screen, PwnCloud OS. The default password is Pwned Labs. PWNED-LABS. Hit enter on our keyboard. And just like that, we are booted into PwnCloud OS. First of all, I love the way it looks. It has, like, seriously, a beautiful, sleek design. Love the background. But let me show you the power of this when it comes to cloud pen testing. If we go up to the menu here in the top left corner, you can see all the tools built into this. So for example, if we're doing AWS Pentesting, I can click here into AWS. We have awesome user finder. I believe that's made by my friend the mayor. We have PMapper, we have GitHub, we have S3 account search, IAM graph, AWS enumerator, Paku, which I actually help maintain currently. If we're doing Azure Pentesting, we can pop open Azure, and we have all of these Azure Pentesting tools built into it. We can go to browser. Of course, we just have Firefox. We have some code scanning tools, specifically TruffleHog and GetSecrets. I've been meaning to make a video all about TruffleHog. Maybe I'll do it from PwnCloud OS. We have Burp Suite Community here. Actually, one of my suggestions to the team was to add Kaido. I really like Kaido. Kaido is a web proxying tool built from the ground up in Rust. Not quite as feature-rich as Burp Suite yet, but love the devs, love the UI, love the way it works. Kaido is actually now a standard tool on both the attack box of Try Hack Me and the Pwn box on Hack the Box. I think I got those names right. But Kaido is now a standard tool on both of those VMs. We have some multi-cloud tools, PowerPipe, SteamPipe, S3 Scanner, CloudFox, Prowler, Scout Suite, and then of course our terminal. We can pop open our terminal and we're in the Pwned Labs at cloud. So this is an entire operating system designed for cloud pen testing. It is free. They're open to your feedback. They want your feedback. They want to learn what feedback you have for this, what tools you would suggest in areas of improvement. But you can see how easy it was for me to install this. It took us just a few minutes if you remove the download time, and we are up and running and we are ready for cloud pen testing. But wait, there's more. I feel like one of those silly marketers. I have two premium vouchers for you for Pwned Labs. Let me switch it on my Windows real quick so I can show this to you. PwnLabs.io, the platform I showcase pretty often. Remember that Hack the Box for the cloud. You can see that for an annual license to their platform is $200. This gives you basically all of the content with the exception of some business content, gives you access to their large cyber ranges that are more like red team environments with multiple clouds inside of it. But I said, yo, Pwned Labs, and I'm really good friends with them. I said, hey, can you guys give me 2 vouchers to give away to help support the community? And they said, yes, we can do that. So I have 2 vouchers that I am going to be giving away to Pwned Labs. And here's how you can win a voucher. And you can check out PwnCloud OS on your own. And you can dive into these labs that you've been seeing me do. The way you can win the voucher is join me on Ko-Fi. Now, I did a similar thing for other giveaways, and I think it's the best way to do it because it gives people a little bit of skin in the game. And if you appreciate my content, you can also support what I'm doing. But Ko-Fi, there's a link to this in the description of this video. It's a way that you can donate and support what I'm doing. But look, I'm not trying to get rich off of you. Donate $1 for all I care. I think that's the minimum donation you can do, but that's all you have to do. Donate $1 between now, and I'm looking at my calendar, between now and June 27th, and you will be eligible for this giveaway. The recording right now is June 13th. So between June 13th and June 27th, donate whatever amount you want to give to me on Ko-Fi, whatever you are able to afford if you appreciate my content. So it can be $1, it can be $5, it can be $100, it can be $1,000, whatever money you have. But just as a way of saying thank you if you appreciate my content, but as a thank you to you, you will be entered into a drawing to win one of 2 vouchers for a year access to Pwned Labs. Once again, I will be doing that drawing on on June 27th. So from now until June 27th, you have the opportunity to enter into that giveaway. So hey, check out PwnCloud OS. Go ahead and get ready for that giveaway over on Ko-Fi, and go to my YouTube channel, go to my playlist. I cover so many of the labs on Pwned Labs if you want to get a feel for the quality and all of the things you can learn. But hey, y'all, thank you so much for hanging out. Let me know if you downloaded PwnCloud OS. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think it's missing? What do you think is doing really well? Join the Pwned Labs Discord and let them know as well. And let's continue this learning journey together. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Boom. How did I do, guys? Oh, and memory corruption. Let me go ahead and drop this link for you again. It is PwnCloud OS. Scroll up if I missed anything else. What do you guys think of PwnCloud looking at it? We're going to use it now to do some GCP hacking. Pwned Labs is an awesome platform, says Johnny. I agree. You did great. Very good. Thank you. I tripped over my words a little bit there, but not enough that I'm going to re-record it. I'll do some minor video, and I'm going to get that video dropped probably Sunday night. I'll get that video dropped about PwnCloud OS. How to donate. Okay, so you can donate over on Ko-Fi. Let me grab my Ko-Fi link. If I can open it up. So this is how you can donate. You can just give $1. If you want to give more, I mean, I would very much appreciate it. You can also become a member, but only recommend to give something between now and then. On Ko-Fi, you can give PayPal. You can do credit card. I think all of it would work fine. Actually, I know it will. I have Stripe hooked up to it, and I have PayPal hooked up to it. So it should take any payment. I don't think it takes crypto, but I'll take your crypto. All right, happy to do some quick questions. Mine says no hard disk is selected. DM me on Discord or join the Pwned Labs Discord. I'm not really sure without seeing it. Also, I will just say, if you guys donate while I'm streaming, I think the little Ko-Fi bot like celebrates it and even takes like a video clip from it, which is pretty cool. Nox Loomis said, how did you like the flag and dialog boxes in the PT1? I'm not really sure how they want the reports. It's not exactly what I would expect, not having to include pictures as proof. Oh, I see what you're saying. It takes a while to get used to it. I don't know how much I can say Nox Lumens on stream because I don't want to give things away. But if you watch my video, that was actually one of the things, some of the critical feedback I gave is I don't like that the reported stuff is graded by AI. I mean, I get the reasoning behind that, but I agree. I think like the reports by OSCP, PNPT, CPTS are a lot better because they're more realistic and that you have to include screenshots and everything. Will there be a stream for machine on API hacking? I think I've done multiple streams on that or videos on it, but yeah, well, we can always do it sometime. Thank you, Crypto King. I appreciate the kind words on the teaching and the courses. Thank you, thank you. All right, guys, should we do some GCP hacking, see if we can take down the internet again? I think so. Let me get this all pulled up. So a few things I need to prep over on my machine. I need to first get logged into PwnLabs.io. We're now going to do this all on PwnCloud OS, or at least try to. Let's see what bugs I'm able to find. But I have to get logged into like Notion and everything. Wow, that light mode's going to make my eyes bleed. Yeah, Nox, I agree. So like the PT1, I know they said it's the cert to get you higher, which I think is a freaking terrible way to say it. But I will say the PT1, I think, is head and shoulders above something like the OSCP. The PT1 is very realistic, and the things it tests is very well done. But I also think that's why people struggle with it, because it's not a CTF. That's where people struggle. Just post the pic in Discord. Gotcha. I'll follow up for sure. All right, I need to grab stuff from my password manager. It's always a process to get things set up on a new VM. Oh, hey, we got a new donation from Anush. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are amazing, my friend. You're already a member too. Like, dude, you are awesome. Seriously. Let me check this out. Got a noosh with the $5 plus. He's already a member. I believe Hack Smarter Learning. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate it. We got Sank Logic checking in as well with the super chat. He says, I'm no crypto king. That's okay. Hey, just you taking the time, even if you donate up to 50 cents, like seriously, thank you for the generosity. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love doing this. I mean, I remember, I've shared this a few times, but I remember, it's like the old story. I remember though, when I started streaming, nobody watched. It was one viewer and it was me on my phone making sure the stream looked good. And I just had to pretend like I was talking to people. Oh, we got Travis Wright becoming a member over on YouTube. Basic membership. What is good? That is awesome. Man, all the support. Thank you guys. Seriously. You're all amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I need to figure out how to get a bot set up so like when someone purchases one of my courses, it celebrates it in chat, because that would be cool as well to be able to celebrate that, because for me to see that, I have to like manually check and see, hey, did anyone buy it? I would love to be able to celebrate while I'm streaming. Looks like someone purchased my AWS Pentesting course at 9:15. So I won't say your name because it gives me your name. I don't want to dox you, but if that was you, if you're watching and you purchased my course 15 minutes ago, thank you for your support as well. Am I going to DEF CON? Yes, Alex, I am going to DEF CON. I actually have some exciting news that I can share there before we dive in. I will be at DEF CON, I will be at Wild West Hacking Fest, and I'll be at Simply CyberCon. Those are the 3 conferences I'm attending this year. At DEF CON, I'm hosting a meetup on Friday night with my friend Jerry Ozier at Simply Cyber. We are renting out a brewery called Beer Zombies, I think. That's, just a few miles from the Strip. It's going to be on Friday night. I don't know the time for sure. I think it's like 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., but we are paying for an open bar. So come and have a drink on me. Would love to meet you. Would love to hang out. But yes, I will be at DEF CON. Dang, and we got another donation from Cyberstormy. My goodness, guys. I can't even start recording. You guys keep donating. Thank you. You're amazing. Hey, let me check that out. Let me give you a proper shout out. We got Cyberstormy with the $10. Thank you for being so supportive in the Discord and answering questions. Really appreciate it. Thank you, my friend, for being here. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your support. You are amazing. Thank you. Sure as I love content creators are active with their community. It really means a lot. Yes, like I love just being part of the community. If you're not part of the HackSmart Discord, you might be surprised, because I think when you join a lot of Discords by other streamers or whatever, you like never see them interact. Guys, I'm always chatting in the Discord. I'm just one of you. I answer DMs. People will be like, hey, can I have help with this? And I jump in a DM with them on the spot and I help them troubleshoot and fix stuff. Yeah. How do you work and stream? Do you ever sleep? No. No, I do. You know what? Actually, since you asked, I wrote a whole blog on it and a video. What? Oh, I thought Simply Cyber Academy was down. So if you haven't seen this, Simply Cyber has a blog, and here you go. How do I balance all this stuff? I wrote a blog on it, also have a video on it, but you can check that out. Oh, you know what? Apparently I don't have it turned on, so it copy and pastes. Shared clipboard bi-directional. I should have shown this in the video. Oh well, they can figure it out themselves. Whoops. Now can I copy and paste? Yeah, now I can. Beautiful. But yeah, I have this. Long story short, guys, it seems like I never sleep, but I sleep like 7 to 8 hours every night, believe it or not. I generally try to go to bed at midnight. I'm up at like 7. The reason it looks like I don't is I just don't have anything else I really do. This is my hobby, so I enjoy it. Make sure I don't miss anything in chat. Thank you, Crypto. I appreciate the kind words. And yeah, like, I mean, who I am on stream, if you guys meet me at DEF CON, this is the same person I am. Stream, real life, all of that. Although I guess probably the only difference, guys, is I might be a little bit awkward in real life. I don't know. I'm very much like introverted. And although it seems like I'm really good at talking, I suck at small talk. But if you do see me, please talk to me. I would love to meet you. And if you're awkward as well, we can just be like socially awkward together. It'll be fine. I don't sleep either, the 3-week-old baby. Exactly. Right? You're the one who doesn't get sleep. I remember both of my kids when they were young. My daughter in particular, she had acid reflux. She would not sleep. She just cried. I didn't realize how sleep deprived you get when you have like a newborn. So kudos to you. Do not try to study, honestly. There is a season for studying, but there's also a season for sleep. When you're in that 3-week-old baby life stage, that means anytime you have an opportunity, don't study, sleep. That lack of sleep will destroy you. I know personally. I'm finishing my bachelor's in cyber right now, about to take the LPI in Python, then my CYSA and CCSP, and I'll be done. Amazing and cool that you're getting those certs as well. New to hacking, that silver platter took me days. Well, hey, you completed it. That's what matters. This will be my first time at DEF CON. Do you have any tips? We actually won the sponsor for the conference in an Army CTF at my university. Geez, that's going to take a whole video as well. I'll make a video on that. As far as tips, real quick, my tips would be just talk to people. DEF CON can be overwhelming. There's a lot of people, but like everyone is super friendly. So if you're going with a group, awesome. If you're going solo, then just find people to hang out with. Like, guys, I'm going solo. My work was going to go, but now they're not. So I'm self-funding myself to go to DEF CON because I want to be there, but I'm not going with the group. So like, if you want to hang out, legit, I'll be looking for people to hang out with because I won't have a group that I'm with. But everyone at DEF CON is super friendly, super fun to chat with. Just do your best to get involved, attend meetups, things like that. Make your way out of your bubble for those 3 days for Hacker Summer Camp. When I'm done, I'm going to buy your cloud course. Buy it now. And the reason I say that, Tommy, is my course will be going up to about $50. If you buy it now, it's only $34.99. And if you use the code DAD20 on checkout, you can get 20% off right now for Father's Day. So if you plan on going through it at all, I do recommend getting it now. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to continue our series from before. Oh, wrong lab. Okay, let me get into this note. Let me get relogged into Pwned Labs. Latest labs. Start pwning. Hey guys, you know what the first thing I'm going to do real quick? What's your guys' preferred browser of choice? Let me know in chat. I know a lot of people like Firefox, but I feel like I have too many issues with Firefox. So I'm downloading my browser real quick. Brave, I'm right there with you, John Doe. That's what I'm downloading right now on the PwnCloud OS. Give me just a second. I feel like Brave is just smoother than Firefox. I guess you guys can watch me. I mean, it's not very exciting. There we go. Much better. Okay. I need to stop sharing again. I need to relog into stuff. I apologize. All the pain of trying to work with a brand new VM. But I do want us to experiment with this VM, not just for my sake, but for the sake of the Pwned Labs team. Give them some good feedback as I work through stuff. What is it you like about Brave? What I like about Brave is it's Chromium based, but it's not Google Chrome. That's one big thing. But I also love the ad blocker built into it. I don't know if YouTube will strike me for this, but guys, if you get Brave on your phone, you can play YouTube videos in the background on your phone without YouTube Premium. Like you could put it on, turn your phone off, and the video and stuff will keep playing. It blocks all ads really well, including YouTube ads. Has Tor built into it if you want to switch to a Tor session, free VPN. It is, I enjoy it for those reasons. Okay, now I need to get dark mode on for Notion because hackers don't use light mode. Okay, there we go. Cloud Labs, go to this one. Okay, and I'm going to log into Pwned Labs. And that was actually one of my suggestions to them, was to have a Chromium browser on here. Brave would be awesome if they just put Brave on the PwnCloud OS. This video is brought to you by Brave. It's really not, but I do enjoy it. All right, we got the lab launched. Need to remember kind of where we've been, where we're heading. So the last time we were here, what did we actually do? We have a web app. Didn't we eventually get the access token? Yes, okay. We need to get back to this part so I can start recording for YouTube. So let me, oh, you know what I need to download as well? Half this video is just going to be me setting up my VM. Let me get Kaido downloaded real quick. Sudo dpkg I Kaido. Boom. Hello, Tyler. First time here. Good to have you here, my friend. You are awesome. Welcome to the party, pal. All right, let me stop sharing so I can authenticate real quick to Kaido. Register my instance. Allow. All right, we got Kaido. Let's just get out of this. Intercept. Oh, select a project. Create a project. Pwned Labs. Geez, maybe I should just go with my old VM. I'm now realizing this is going to be more work than one would think. Because there's different things now I have to just get done so I can go back to my step. Because for Kaido, I think I need a Chromium browser to use the built-in one. You know what? Screw it. Let's just use Firefox. And we'll download Foxy Proxy. I think that's going to be faster. Wrong one. Let's go to the add-on. Oh, sweet. They actually already had it installed. Nice. Okay, that's one plus for this. They already had it installed. What I do need to do, though, is download the certificate, which I don't normally do that here in Kaido because I just, like, oh, there we go. CA certificate, download. I just use the built-in browser, but let's grab that. Go over to Firefox. Go to Not More Tools. Go to Settings. Certs. View Certificates. Import CA cert. Open to identify websites. Okay, okay. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and turn this on. It says burp, but really it should have worked through Kaido. Go to intercept, turn on intercept. If I do enter, does it pick up the request? It does not. Okay, we're having issues. Options. Proxies. Oh, I don't know why it's 8081. It should be 8080. Test. Turn it on. There we go. All right, cool. We have that set up. Okay, cool. We're almost to where we can start rocking with things. Speaking of Kaido, can you change the default browser rather than Chromium? I don't think so. I think it's only Chromium, but I might be wrong there. Good question. Okay, let's see if we can get back to where we were at in the end of the last video. So we, of course, have this website that we're working with. Let's head there. I don't know if it's HTTPS. Oh, you know what I need to do as well is download the VPN. That'd be a good starting point as well. Once again, guys, I apologize I have to do all this setup, but in order for me to work with this thing, I need to do the setup. All right, open up a new terminal. Okay. Let's see if this works now. There we go. Yep, this is the inventory stuff. Is my shell still here by any chance? I think it was like just at the web root. Whoops. Okay, no. So I do have to re-exploit it real quick. I think it was admin. Now, if you guys feel lost in what I'm doing right now, you need to watch video or part 1 of this. I'm not going to re-explain this all. I just want to get to where we can continue this. Oh, that's right. It was user. And then I think it was like my cart, add to cart. That's right. I remember getting that error. How did I get this to work last time? Can I just copy this? Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and Control V this in, hit send. Okay. Let's go and see if that gave me the shell that I need. Jeez, I can't type. Nope. Okay, what was the command I ended up using? That was against the addcart.php. That's what I just did, right? Maybe, oh, I bet the session, my session cookie would have been expired. I just need to copy this one right here and use this. This is the right one, right? Okay, so what if I just replace this with that payload? Hit send. Okay, now we get a 200 OK. Boom, okay. Now we're talking, we're right about where we left off last time. Let me turn on queuing again. Do that on who am I, send that over to intercept or replay, hit send. And we have command execution. Beautiful. One last step and then we'll be back to where we were at the end of the last video. Remember we hit this metadata endpoint, so I'm just gonna grab this curl request right here and we will drop it in, or not curl request, get request, and that should give us a service token. Boom, that's where we left off. Okay, drink of water, then we start recording. Well, hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is part 2 in my little mini series of hacking GCP or Google Cloud Platform. In video number 1, if you missed it, actually this is video 3. I need to redo that. This is the 3rd video, right? I already made part 2. I think. I need to check now. I don't even remember. I make so many videos, guys. I don't remember how many I've made in this little mini series. I think I've already made 2 videos. Yeah, I released part 2 today. Okay, this is part 3. Part 3. Sweet. Also, let me check this. All right, close this out. All right, part 3. Let's re-record that. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is part 3 in my mini-series of hacking GCP or Google Cloud Platform. If you missed parts 1 or 2, I highly recommend you watch those ones before this one, otherwise you are going to be lost. But in the previous video in part 2, we finally gained initial access to the target GCP environment because we were able to retrieve an access token for a service account. Now I give you a little bit of homework at the end of part 2. If you haven't done that homework, pause this video and do it now. But the homework was, hey, you have an access token for a GCP service account. How can you abuse that? How can you use that to gain access to the GCP environment? And we're going to dive into that together. There's a few different things we might be able to do, but I also want to be clear. I am not an expert by any means at GCP. GCP is relatively new to me, and to be honest, I find GCP somewhat confusing. The reason I wanted to start making videos on GCP is I tend to learn better when I'm forced to teach or explain things, so I'm just gonna wing it. We're gonna learn together. I'm sure I'm gonna fall into some crazy rabbit holes, but let's go ahead and do our best. And hey, looking at chat, we got Ko-Fi bot, we got memory corruption with the donation over on Ko-Fi. You are amazing. Thank you so much for the support. And for those of you watching the standalone video, you might notice there's chat up here. That's because I'm making this video while I'm live streaming. So people like Memory Corruption are in the live studio chat. If you want to be in the live studio, hey, go ahead and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Hit that little bell notification thingy so that you will get notified when I go live. But seriously, thank you so much, Memory Corruption, for your generosity. Let me pull up Ko-Fi on my other screen so I can give you a proper thank you. For those of you watching this video after the fact, you can also give. If you appreciate my content, you can do it on Ko-Fi, you can do it on YouTube, however you want to do it. But Memory Corruption, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the $2. You are amazing. I really do appreciate it. All right, well, let's go ahead and dive in right where we left off. So at the end of last video, we were able to query the metadata endpoint with the RCE that we were able to retrieve, and we have this access token right here. So step number 1 is I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and let me zoom in a little bit here in Kaido. To do that, it's Control, Shift, and then the plus on your keyboard, and I'm going to grab the access token. Let me pull my face over here so you guys can actually see what I'm copying. We're going to grab the access token right here. Just everything in this quotation. Control C on my keyboard. Go over to my terminal, and I'm going to do nano, let's call it token.txt, and I'm going to paste in that full token. Control XY, cat token, and there is our token. I'm going to grab me. Oh, no, geez, I'm moving the wrong stuff. Grab me. I'll move myself back over here so I'm not in the way of the terminal. So there we have our token. Now, there's a few different things that we can do, but when it comes to any type of cloud pen testing, which, by the way, I have a course all about this. So before we go any further, I do have to share with you a word from our sponsor. If you want to get into cloud pen testing, really the top cloud provider right now is AWS, and I have a course all about that. So before we continue, let me give you really quick a word from our sponsor, and then we will dive into this token. To succeed as a pen tester in 2025 and beyond, you need to understand cloud pen testing. I created an entire course, Introduction to AWS Pentesting, which is 65 hands-on lessons taught by me, a real pen tester, not just a silly InfoSec influencer. This course is available right now for only $34.99. I could have easily charged hundreds of dollars for this course, but I wanted it to be affordable and accessible. Link is in the description. There you go. And hey, that course is going to be going up to $49.99. So I do recommend you purchase it now rather than waiting if you buy it before the end of this weekend. And I'm recording this on Friday, June 13th. It is on sale for Father's Day. Use the code DAD20 on checkout and you get 20% off the price of $34.99. All right, let's dive back into this. We have our token.txt right here. I'm curious in chat, for those of you watching the live stream, does anyone know how you can use this token to authenticate over to GCP. Anyone have any ideas? What we're going to do right now is let's do some reading of our own. We'll do some learning. I can actually turn off Q right here. Let's go over to our browser, and there's a few different websites that we can use, but one that I like, and I like DuckDuckGo for my search engine for hack tricks. It just works better. But let's go and do hack tricks GCP. Let's see what we can all do with GCP pen testing. Which, how do I turn on freaking dark mode? What is this crazy light mode? I need to install Dark Reader. For those of you who don't realize this, I'm actually doing all of this on PwnCloud OS. This is an operating system built by Pwned Labs specifically for cloud pen testing. I have a video that gives you step-by-step instructions on installing this. Go ahead and check out that video, but that's what I'm using. So this is my first time using it on stream. So I'm kind of setting up the machine as we work through this as we work through this lab, so I can give some feedback to Pwned Labs as I do it. But you can download it as well. Try it out for yourself, but that's why I don't have my normal like extensions and everything. But let's go ahead and download the Dark Reader extension, add it to Brave, add extension real quick. And that should fix it. There we go. Okay, much better. My hacker eyes cannot do that light mode craziness. I'm going to scroll through here. When it comes to any type of cloud pen testing, once you get some type of credentials in the cloud, whether it's AWS, Azure, or GCP, the first step is to enumerate. Is Bing behind your... I have no idea what you're talking about, Croquet. But the first thing I'm going to do is to figure out what permissions do I have in this environment. And in the cloud, they call this IAM, or Identity and Access Management. So we have a token for some type of service account, but now we want to figure out what does this service account actually have access to. So you can see this. We have a few different things. In GCP, you can try several options to try to guess who you are. That is for the access token. So we could try that. Let me scroll through here. Some user info. I don't know if that would actually work. Org enumeration. Services enumeration. And I don't think it has what we actually need here. Because what we need to figure out first, when it comes to GCP or Google Cloud Platform, you have different projects. Projects are like accounts in some ways within the wider GCP account. Projects can hold different resources, different servers, different virtual machines. So we want to figure out what project we are working in within our access token. So we want to figure out what projects are in the account, and we can actually hit the metadata endpoint and query that some more with the RCE we have. I believe this is Hacking the Cloud GCP. That has the best resources on that. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, did you guys just see that? Who is that guy? Hacking Google Cloud Platform. If you haven't seen part 1, there it is. You should check it out. Anyways, Hacking the Cloud. We'll go to GCP. We'll go to metadata and Google Cloud instances. And now there's a few different things that we can look at just from our MetaCloud instance. So to view scope, that might be helpful. Here's what I'm interested in. We can view project metadata and we can view instance metadata. So let's first try to view the project metadata. I'm going to grab this URL right here. Actually, we can do this full thing. I'm going to copy that, go over to Kaido, and I'm going to paste this in. It's going to mess it up because we need to fix a few things. First, get that back up on the correct line. We can remove that slash, and we need to URL encode it. So I'm going to highlight all of this, right-click, convert, replace, URL encode, and hit send. Oh, our shell went bye-bye. All right. Let me redo our shell. Hit send. Okay, so we don't have much there. It just says enable guest attributes true, enable OS config true. I was hoping we'd get more information than that. How about to view the instance metadata? Let's check this out. No, really, I just need this URL right here. Actually, I guess I'll need all of it to get it so it's right in Kaido. And if you're wondering why my shell disappeared, because this is a shared lab, at least I'm pretty sure it is, there's probably a cleanup script that automatically removes that shell.php. So if that happens to you, just make sure you keep your request and you can very quickly re-add the shell. URL encode that and click send. Okay, so now we have a little bit of information. We have some SSH keys. Now, these are public keys, so this doesn't actually give us access to anything. These are just the public SSH keys. It does show us a username, ian@shopgigantic.com, but other than that, nothing that's really helpful to us. What else can we do as far as metadata enumeration? If I just hit the full metadata thing right here, maybe that will give us some more information. Like I said before, guys, I'm far from an expert when it comes to GCP. I'm quite literally learning as I go. So we will figure this out together. Let's URL encode this and hit send. Okay, so now we have some more information. Instance attributes. Okay, we already have some of that. Some instance information. We have our host name, which actually gives us our project name right there. Now, if you know, here I'm going to grab, well, I'll grab all of this. Let me grab this right here and drop this in our notes. Call this getting project information via metadata. That's our request. I'm also going to turn on word wrap. And then we'll show the response. Paste that in. And now if you know some things about GCP, you know that we have our host name, we have the region that the stuff is located in, and we have the GCP project that we are working within. That GCP project information is important because as we enumerate things, we need to know what project we are in. So we're going to want to grab that, and I'm just going to go down here. We also see it right here, project ID project. So we'll say we know the project is grprod2, and we can use that information along with the access token that we downloaded to begin doing some enumeration. Now, I do want to look back at the top because remember when it comes to Pwned Labs, they give us some hints, like here are the things you're looking for. So let's walk through this. Identify SQL injection to gain command execution. Done. We've done that. Identify service account creds and instance metadata. Done. We have done that. Now we need to identify dangerous GCP permissions. Okay, we can do that. Actually, I have a custom script I made. I think I'll be able to show it off for you guys. It's in my GitHub that might allow us to do that as far as enumerating some GCP permissions. But let's do some things manually with that token that we found. One command that we can run. So we have our token.txt, and I think this is the correct syntax here. If we do gcloud, oh, look at this. I don't even have the GCloud CLI installed. If you remember my install video about the PwnCloud OS, they have tooling up here for AWS and Azure, but GCP is coming in later 2025. One big tool that we need to work with GCP is the GCloud CLI or command line interface. So let me very quickly show you how to download the command line interface on Linux, and we can go ahead and begin working with it. We'll go to my browser. I'll just go to this one right here, and we're going to do install GCloud CLI. We'll go to Google's documentation. It's a pretty easy process. We'll download this, go to my terminal, and I'm going to go to my home. I'm going to make a directory called tools, and we'll save it there. We'll do the curl command. Shouldn't take too long, I don't think. There we go. ls, we're going to open that up, tar xf Google Cloud. ls again, we'll go into the directory that we just made. I'm going to clear my screen so it's back to the top. And now we just need to run install.sh. So I'm going to go ahead and run that script. It says, welcome to Google Cloud CLI. Do you want to help improve? No. I don't want to help you improve. I'm going to do Y to continue. We'll do enter, and it is done. Now we do have to reopen our terminal. But now we have Google Cloud installed. Congratulations, you are well on your way to doing GCP hacking because we just installed the Google Cloud CLI. So let's continue now that we have the Google Cloud CLI. Make sure I'm not missing anything in chat. I am not. Awesome. I'm sure you're all just paying attention, taking really good notes as we work through it. That's what I'm going to imagine to myself. But now let me show you how we can use that token that we found. to begin enumerating the Google Cloud project that we also found. One command that we can run is this to get some more project information. We can do gcloud projects get IAM policy, and now we need to grab that project name wherever that was, grprod2. We can do format equals JSON, and now we want to say access token file equals token. Oh, I think it's a space, not an equals. Token.text, like that, I think. Boom. And I am correct. So we can let me grab this for our notes, and I'll walk through what we just did and some of the information that we are given. Go back over to my notes, and we'll say enumerating project IAM information. So when we run this file, we're using our access token to authenticate to the Google Cloud project of grprod2. Specifically, what we're doing is we're getting the IAM policy, or we want to see the different members and roles that are available in the GCP project, because potentially one of these might lead to privilege escalation. So we have POS inventory. I think that's actually us right now. We have this service account, a built-in GCP service account. Go through here, a compute account. See if there's anything that's interesting. Security admin, logging viewer. We have Ian as the role owner. We have a pub sub service account. HMAC key admin. So if we could compromise this role, we could actually generate HMAC keys, which are sort of like passwords for other accounts, which would allow us to elevate access. Web security scanning. I mean, nothing that's super interesting to us, but if we look back at what we're supposed to do over on scope, we need to identify some dangerous GCP permissions and gain situational awareness using Cloud Asset Inventory. So let's work on identifying dangerous GCP permissions. Now, if you don't know what those are, well, that's okay, because that's where Google comes in handy. We'll just jump back over to Google, and we'll just say, GCP privilege escalation. And you can see Rhino Security Labs, which is actually where I happen to work right now. We have some information on GCP IAM privilege escalation. We have some exploit scripts and a prevest scanner, and we have a list of all potentially vulnerable GCP permissions, which means if you compromise an account that has one of these permissions, you might be able to elevate your privileges or perform lateral movement. Now, I will say this is an older GitHub and some of it doesn't work. The last update was a year ago, and that was actually from me. So I'm the last person that updated this repo, but like the prevest scanner is pretty old. I think I personally had issues getting it to work. So I actually made my own, and I'll show this to you guys because you can also use it. If you go to github.com, Tenebrae 93 is my GitHub. See, that cool guy? And you go over to my repos, I have a repo for GCP tooling. And I just have one script in here that brute forces permissions and then tries to identify any permissions that might be vulnerable. And I can walk you through this script. It should make sense. So first, I created this permissions to test. I literally just copied these permissions from right here. So I have those permissions to test, and all this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and grab the project ID, so it's going to accept that as an argument and accept the access token as an argument, and it's going to go ahead and test what permissions we have, and it will print off a list of, hey, here is some potentially vulnerable permissions that we might be able to work with. Yeah, Tom Cruise did not get to me. Definitely not Chad. So a very simple Python script that should do this for us. And once again, you can just grab this yourself from my GitHub, add to it, make it even better. It is very simple right now. But I'm going to go ahead and do a nano, and we'll just call this, I don't know what I called it in my GitHub. I called it IAM brute force permission. So IAM brute force permissions.py. We'll paste that in, save it. And now if we Python 3, you can see brute force brute force check GCP permissions with an access token. So it accepts a project ID and it accepts a token. So let's go ahead and run this. Our project ID is whatever that weird project name was that we had before. grprod2. And our token, I know that's not going to work, but I don't remember our token. There we go. Our token, I'm going to put it in single quotes. We'll grab this full token and paste it in. Hit enter on our keyboard, and look how quickly it did this. It says, these are the permissions that we have been granted in the project grprod2. And it goes through all of those potentially vulnerable permissions, and there's one that's allowed. Storage, HMAC, keys, create. So there we go. My little custom script in like, I don't know, half of a second just enumerated our permissions way faster than if we went through and ran each one of those curl requests manually. So pretty awesome. You can get that tool from my GitHub free of charge. That is my gift to you. But it found that it has storage HMAC keys create. One thing, if you want to make a pull request, would be to add to my script so that if it finds a permission, it can automatically exploit that permission, which would be really cool if we were able to set that up. But let's grab this for our notes. Oh, that's crazy. Definitely not Chad. Yeah, sorry to hear that. We'll do an H1 identifying dangerous GCP permissions. And we have my script in there. And because we should always include where we got our script from, I mean, I trust that script because, I mean, I made the script, so hopefully I can trust myself. But we'll drop a link in there. And there we have the script. So we want to figure out this permission and what we're able to do with it. But before we exploit that, I think it would be good for us to do a little more enumeration, because it does say in our steps, scroll up, we want to gain situational awareness. Actually, we had a hint here, create HMAC keys to move laterally. So if we didn't use my script, you could kind of guess what that is. So we've identified dangerous permissions. Now we want to gain situational awareness using Cloud Asset Inventory. By that, it means we want to identify what resources are in this account, how might they be abused, what can we do with those. So let's figure out what exactly Cloud Asset Inventory is. We'll make a new H1, and we'll do Cloud Asset Inventory enumeration, and let's read about it. Cloud Asset Inventory is a global metadata inventory service that lets you view, search, export, monitor, and analyze your Google Cloud Asset metadata with up to 35 days of create, update, and delete history. Assets that haven't changed in the past 35 days report their latest status. Blah, 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 blah. How can I use it? List assets, get assets, search for resources, query. How about search for resources? You can search for resources in a project folder org and filter the return results using a query. Okay. Google Asset Search All Resources. I think we can just pass it our token again. I think. What if I just run this command and I give it the token? Let's try it. So gcloud assets, is it assets or asset? Search all resources. Access token, actually, I think, is the proper access token file. Okay, we need to set our project. Gcloud config set project grprod2. I don't know if I need an access token file for this. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, it worked. But my goodness, that is a lot of information. Let's look at our goal, and maybe it'll give us a hint of what resources we should be looking at. Our team has landed a new engagement. The global retailer client has revised a list of IPs. You are currently assessing that. The in scope is application of the resources environments. Create HMAC keys. Leverage predictable. Okay, GCP buckets. What if we filter by GCP buckets and we get a list of GCP buckets? That seems like it would be the most helpful. So let's read through how we can do that. So asset types. A common server list of searchable asset types. Can we just do buckets? Resource types. Bucket. Cloud storage. So is this how I would do it? All right, here is where we kind of stumble around. And we are going to learn something, though, in the process of how we're supposed to list out these assets and figure out what we're supposed to be working with. Where did my bucket go? Whoops, cloud storage. Maybe I need to go to API reference. Guys, I'm telling you, GCP confuses me compared to like AWS. Maybe it's just bucket. Well, let's go ahead and try it, shall we? So we need to specify asset types. So we'll do our same command, but we're going to give it okay, it's not bucket, so it must be that longer like API name. Potentially. Is it like that? There we go. Okay. So it was that second one. So that gives us a list of buckets. So maybe that will come in handy. Buckets, if you took my AWS course, we talked about S3 buckets. Well, Google has similar things. I like to think of cloud storage like FTP in the cloud. Very like simplified explanation there. But when it comes to FTP on a traditional CTF, if you can gain access to an FTP server, you can gain access to sensitive data. That's true with buckets, whether it's AWS, S3 buckets, Google Cloud buckets, or Azure Blob Storage, all have very similar vulnerabilities. Here we have a list of all the buckets in the account. We have GR data migration. We have GCF sources managed by Cloud Functions. We have GR inventory storage. Let's just go ahead and grab all of this. And we'll add that to our notes. Whether or not it will come in handy, I don't know. But we'll just say listing out all buckets. And we'll drop that information in there. Now let's go back to our scope again and remember what we're all working with. So far we've identified dangerous GCP permissions. We have the HMAC permissions there. We were able to gain situational awareness using Cloud Asset Inventory. And we have two more steps. We need to create HMAC. We need to create HMAC keys to move laterally, and we need to leverage predictable GCP bucket naming conventions. So two more things to work on, but we are at the end of part 3 on this series of hacking GCP. So this is the end of part 3, and part 4, which will be the final part in this little mini series on hacking GCP, we will work on moving laterally, and we'll see if we can complete this lab and locate the final flag. But hey, thank you so much for taking the time to work with me through now 3 parts in this series. Hope you learned a lot in the process. I will catch you in part 4 as we finish out this lab. See you then. I do read Discord. There's a guy named Vault of Juice. He is selling unreleased JW songs illegally. I'd like to know who he actually is. Do you read chat? I have no idea what you're talking about, but even if he is breaking songs illegally, me helping you dox him is also illegal, so I am not going to help you. But I do read chat. Now, guys, I'm not actually done. Remember, if you're new to my stream, my live stream is when we're hanging out, but I also record those shorter standalone videos for my YouTube channel. And I want us to finish this lab. So we're now going to record part 4 and see if we can figure out how to do this HMAC key craziness, which I have a feeling might take a little bit and a lot of stumbling around. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break though, and then we'll dive into that. I've been on stream almost 2 hours. So yeah, I think I have deserved a 5-minute break. So let me turn on some music for you guys. We'll take a 5-minute break, jump back on, and see if we can knock out the final part of this lab. Let's see if I can find us some good music. All right, here we go.
When I grow up, I want to be a dentist. When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina teacher. When I grow up, I want to be a police officer. When I grow up, I would like to be a veterinarian. When I grow up, I'm going to be a flapper.
Yeah, when I grow up, you know what I wanna be? Take a seat, let me tell you my ridiculous dreams. I wanna rap, yeah, I know it's hard to believe. And I can tell you're already thinking I will never succeed, but I'm okay with it, I admit the lyrics are weak. I've been working on them, I'll be good eventually. I understand you gotta crawl before you get to your feet, but I've been running for a while, they ain't ready for me. I know this probably isn't really realistic, and honestly I might not ever make a difference, but that don't make a difference, I'ma have to risk it. I've been crunching numbers, you ain't gotta be a mathematician, and see the odds ain't rooting for me. I can't lie though, it's kinda how I like it to be, the underdog. Yeah, you probably think you know what I mean, but what I'm saying is they ever push me, I'm gonna swing. Yeah, I could go to college getting down like everybody else, graduating, probably get a job that doesn't pay the bills. That don't make a lot of sense to me, forget the happy meals. I don't like the dollar menu, I would rather make a meal. Huh? Make a meal? No, I said make a meal. Home cooking, get the grill. How you want it? Pretty well? Everything I see is overdone to me, I'm not a Adele, but I'ma get a record deal and say hello to Master Grill. I just wanna pay my bills, rapping about the way I feel. Oh yeah, I just wanna make a couple mil, leave it to the fam in the will. Oh yeah, I just wanna sign a record deal, maybe buy a house up in the hills. Oh yeah, might not be the best in my field, but I guarantee that I'ma die real when I grow up. Yeah, hey, when I grow up. Yeah, yeah, hey. I'ma make them notice me, rhyming like it's poetry. Everything I oversee, I just like to overthink. Mocking me, you pay the fee, no returning, no receipts. Those of you that don't believe, quiet, you don't know a thing. Quiet when I'm trying to sing, quiet when I'm making beats, quiet when I'm trying to think. Sorry, I don't mean to scream, I just feel like no one really gets me, and it's sad to see, cause someday I'ma grow up and show all of you it's meant to be. Yeah, anybody wanna hear me rap? No, come on, let me play a couple tracks. No, come on, I can spit it really fast. No, you think I should throw this in the trash? No, trick ya, haters go away before I hit ya. I am not a beggar or a kiss up. You don't understand, well I forgive ya. I am not a quitter, you didn't really think that, did ya? Maybe someday I could even be up on the radio, have a tour bus and maybe even play a couple shows. Everybody in the crowd singing every word I wrote, telling me that I am not the only one that feels alone. Huh? You feel alone? Yeah, I kinda feel alone. Wonder if the feeling ever goes away when you get old. Will I ever make it as an artist? I don't really know. Might not make a lot of dough, I'ma have to try it though. I just wanna pay my bills, rapping about the way I feel. Oh yeah, I just wanna make a couple mil, leave it to the fam in the will. Oh yeah, I just wanna sign a record deal, maybe buy a house up in the hills. Oh yeah, might not be the best in my field, but I guarantee that I'ma die real when I grow up. I just wanna pay my bills, rapping about the way I feel. Oh yeah, I just wanna make a couple mil, leave it to the fam in the will. I just wanna sign a record deal, maybe buy a house up in the hills. Yeah, I might not be the best in my field, but I guarantee that I'ma die real when I grow up.
How could you leave so you, but you just left us. We needed you, I needed you.
Yo, I don't know what it's like to be addicted to pills, but I do know what it's like to be a witness to kills. Mama told me she loved me, I'm thinking this isn't real. I think of you when I get a whiff of that cigarette smell, yeah. Welcome to the bottom of hell, they say pain is a prison. Let me out of my cell, you say you...
Yo, welcome back. Hopefully you guys had some time to stand up, do jumping jacks, jump around, shadow box. I don't know what you did. But let's see if we can finish up this lab. It's almost 11 o'clock. I still want to get some boxing and exercise in myself. Who knows if I'll be able to. But let's dive back in. This is part 4, right? Yeah, because part 1 and part 2 released. I just recorded part 3. This is part 4. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This is part 4 in my mini-series of hacking Google Cloud Platform, or GCP. If you missed parts 1, 2, or 3, I recommend watching those first, otherwise you are going to be a little bit lost. Also, I want you to notice there are people here in the live stream. I'm making this video while I'm streaming. These are the people in the live studio audience. So hey, if you ever want to be in the live studio audience, subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell icon, and you'll be notified when I go live. I stream all of the time, so there's a really good chance you'll be able to catch me, and you can join and hang out with us as we make these videos. Hey, before we dive into this 4th part, do need to bring you a word from our sponsor, and here's a cool thing. I sponsor my own videos, so check out this word from our sponsor, and we'll dive into part 4 of this series of hacking GCP. To succeed as a pen tester in 2025 and beyond, you need to understand cloud pen testing. I created an entire course, Introduction to AWS Pentesting, which is 65 hands-on lessons taught by me, a real pen tester, not just a silly InfoSec influencer. This course is available right now for only $34.99. I could have easily charged hundreds of dollars for this course, but I wanted it to be affordable and accessible. Link is in the description. Do want to let you know the price of that course will be going up to $49.99 in the near future, so I recommend you buy it now and save a little bit of money. It really is worth hundreds of dollars, but I wanted to make it affordable and accessible. So hey, even if you plan on going through it a year from now, buy it now. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive. Yeah, buy the course. Appreciate the shout out in the chat. Let's dive back in and pick up where we left off on our GCP hacking adventure. So we have kind of a list of things that we're working through. We're right here. We need to create HMAC keys to move laterally. So let me jump back to where we left off, and I'm gonna do a new H1, and we will say creating HMAC keys to move laterally. Now, when we were looking at our privilege escalation, we had, let me jump over to here. We had over by Rhino a list of PrivS paths, and the one that we were able to find with my little custom script is a storage HMAC keys create, and might be helpful to do a blog post. What about the DAD20 code? So yeah, if you're watching live right now, you are able to get 20% off my course with DAD20, but this standalone video will be releasing after that discount is over. So that's why I didn't mention it, John Doe, but I'll just say it again for those who might watch the live stream or the recording. If you buy my course before the end of Father's Day 2025, you can get 20% off with DAD20. If it's after that, you cannot get 20% off. But let's read about this storage HMAC keys. So it says there's a feature of cloud storage interoperability that provides a way, let me zoom in so you guys can see this, that provides a way for cloud storage to interact with storage offerings from other cloud providers like AWS S3. As part of that, there are HMAC keys that can be created for both service accounts and regular users. We can escalate cloud storage permissions, so the focus is on cloud storage, by creating an HMAC key for a higher privileged service account. HMAC keys belonging to your user cannot be accessed through the API and must be accessed through the web console, but what's nice is that both the access key and the secret key are available at any point. This means we could take an existing pair and store them for backup access to the account, so like persistent access. HMAC keys belonging to service accounts can be accessed through the API, but after creation, you are not able to see the access key and secret again. This screenshot above shows a simple command from the GCP CLI to create HMAC keys for a service account. Now you just need to use those keys to access the cloud storage APIs as a service account. The exploit script for this method can be found here. Okay, I see what we're doing. What's the exploit script do? Project ID, target service account, access token. Okay, I don't even think I need to use this script. I'm pretty sure I could just run this command. We just need to find a target service account. We know it has something to do with cloud storage. I mean, both our scenario talks about some cloud storage stuff and the blog here talks about cloud storage. Let's jump over to our lab. Do we have some cloud storage accounts here? Oh, here's our buckets. Actually, we want service accounts. I dumped the service accounts before. Let's see what we have. POS inventory, service, POS inventory. Just going to kind of glance through these. GR Consulting. Inventories. Okay, so we have this role right here. Inventory storage. It has storage object viewer. I think that's going to be a good candidate for us to exploit it. I'll just do target service account. We'll drop a code block in there. And now I think the command that we run, I mean, we're given it in that blog post. The blog post is a few years old, so I don't know how accurate it is, but let's go ahead and try this. gsutil HMAC create -p, and then what's the P? Is that the token? Maybe I should read about this. gsutil HMAC docs. Oh, the date on the live stream is wrong. Hey, thank you for that correction. I will fix that when we're done. I updated the day to Friday, but you're right. I did not update the date. Good catch. I'll fix that. Anyways, let's figure out how we actually use this command. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Never mind. There's not much information on how we use the command there. This passes it our access token and then gives it our target service account. You know, we could also just take this and turn it into a curl command, I think. This is where I think ChatGPT is helpful because we don't need to waste our time turning into a curl command. We'll see if we can do this quick. Turn this into a curl command. Pretty please. So that's the access token with actual values. You don't need to set any special headers. Well, maybe. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense. More secure, you can do this. All right, let's go ahead and try to grab this syntax right here. So many people and only one read the description of the stream carefully. You are correct. Let's jump over. It is Friday. Half people are probably like only half here watching, but that's okay as well. We'll drop this curl request. I'm just going to fill out the information. So our access token right here, I believe, is going to be the access token we grabbed in the beginning of this. So I'm going to cat token.text. Hopefully it's still active. I'm going to grab the access token and put that in there. We have Google APIs. We need our project ID, which I think is grprod2. And then we need our target service account email, which is going to be this right here. Service account HMAC key limit reached. You think this is a bug? So when it comes to a lot of these labs on Pwned Labs, because they are in the cloud, they are shared labs. This might actually be a bug. That because enough people have done this scenario, no more HMAC keys are allowed for our target service account. I'm going to sanity check this real quick. The nice thing about Pwned Labs is there is a detailed lab guide. We're going to very quickly scroll through this lab guide because I don't want to waste my time doing something if the lab itself is a little bit bugged, and I can just notify Pwned Labs. Let's scroll through. Okay, I did all this stuff. How did they do this? Oh, see, I filtered by just buckets, which I think gave me a better output. Oh wait, what? Whoa, what did I miss? Yep. Lab's broken. That is the correct account, but I bet there's a limit on how many HMAC keys you can have in an account. $10 HMAC keys per service account. So after 10 people do this lab, Pwned Labs needs to delete the service key. So we can't complete this lab. But I'm going to ping Pwned Labs right now on that. Give me just a second. They're very quick to respond. Once they fix it, I'll be able to complete the lab, but I'm glad I realized that. Let me go here and ping them. Can I add any more HMAC keys? That's the downside sometimes of cloud labs when they're shared. I've ran into the reason I kind of knew that was the issue is I've ran into that on multiple platforms. Like Cyber, I had that issue once. It's just there are limits to things, and when it hits that limit, you need a cleanup script that deletes it out, so you don't run into that. But I'll get it fixed for us. I mean, there's nothing I'm doing sensitive. You guys can watch what I'm typing. I need to go ahead and do spoiler tags on some of this. I'll do a spoiler tag on this. Oops. Let me go ahead and spoiler that. Stop sharing my screen for just a moment while I grab a screenshot of the error. But yeah, this is part of learning, y'all. Sometimes labs work beautifully. Sometimes you run into little issues like this. But that's okay. I'm going to spoil that. Oh wait, this isn't the right one. Gah. Yeah, I'm not going to repost it in the other one. I don't want to do all my spoiler stuff again, but... Well... That's it for part 4. Once they fix the lab, I'll have to come back and do part 4. It kind of sucks because I'm not going to be able to stream much next week because I'm going to be working on my hands-on fishing course. So I was hoping I could finish all the parts for this little mini-series tonight so it could be done. but that's life. That's life. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. We are at about the over 2 hour mark, and I have some video editing to do. I have to edit some of the videos that we made, so I need to work on that. Is a limit problem because the free? No, just GCP has a 10 HMAC key limit, and because everyone's targeting the service account, it didn't take long for it to reach 10 keys. So they just need a cleanup script that deletes HMAC keys. I just happen to be the one that discovered the bug. But what we're going to do now is find somebody to raid over on Twitch. 2 hours, you're just getting started. I wish. Hey, y'all, when I'm full-time doing this, I'll do more than 2 hours. But I've already worked all day. And then went to a bunch of events with my kids. Got them put to bed and now on here. So it does only seem like 2 hours, but I'm like freaking 16 hours of work right now. But let's find somebody to raid. If you're watching on YouTube, which I'm guessing most of you are, let me see. Yeah, the vast majority of you are on YouTube. Come join Twitch so you can be part of the raid. If you're new to Twitch terminology, it means you take all of our viewers and we send them to someone else to show some love and support. Oh, the Shy Hat's online? Awesome. The Shy Hat is another great content creator, teaches ethical hacking, all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and set up a raid to raid the Shy Hat. I'm going to get that raid set up over on Twitch. Once again, if you want to join, come join Twitch. Our raid phrase, so when we raid him, everyone spam in chat, hack smarter, not harder. Hack smarter, not harder. I'm going to get my headset on. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. If they fix the lab, I'll be back tomorrow night so we can finish this. If they don't fix it, I'll be back whenever they fix it. But hopefully I'll be back tomorrow night so we can finish up this lab. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you